All right, let's dive into rustic weddings. We've got tons of info here about how couples are bringing that countryside charm to their big day, especially the decor. And, it's way more than just mason jars and burlap. We're talking about seriously creative and personalized trends these days. So we're going to explore not just what's hot, but like why these trends are taking off and even what they might mean for you if you're thinking of starting a wedding decor business. So buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride.
It is really fascinating to see this surge in DIY and personalized weddings, and that rustic theme is definitely leading the charge. It seems like couples are really craving that unique handcrafted feel for their celebrations.
Yeah, I'm seeing that everywhere. And our sources back that up, like Etsy, for example. Huge spike in demand for custom rustic wedding items. But what's interesting to me is that it goes beyond just the aesthetic. What do you think is driving this desire for rustic handcrafted details?
Well, I think it taps into a few things. There's a sense of authenticity and warmth that comes with those rustic elements. Think about those 129 searches for wedding laser engraving and 75 for, wedding CNC we saw in the data. People are clearly drawn to the idea of incorporating unique wooden pieces with personal touches. It's like bringing a piece of nature and a piece of their story into the celebration.
I love that it's each piece tells a story. And speaking of stories, our sources are buzzing about this new take on rustic, something they're calling bespoke shabby chic. It sounds intriguing, but I'm not exactly sure what it means. Can you shed some light on this new trend?
Absolutely. Bespoke shabby chic is all about blending that rustic charm with a more personalized, refined touch. So instead of just burlap and mason jars, imagine incorporating antique dishes, vintage suitcases, maybe even an old door window repurposed as a photo backdrop. It's about layering different textures and elements, often with a vintage or antique feel, to create something unique and personal.
So it's rustic, but with a touch of elegance and history. I can definitely see the appeal there. Now let's talk materials. What are some of the most popular materials we're seeing in rustic wedding decor?
Wood is definitely a front runner, especially maple, cherry, and walnut. These woods lend themselves beautifully to signage, custom engravings, you name it. Burlap and lace are still popular choices for their texture and romantic feel. And then there's reclaimed wood, which is having a major moment right now.
Reclaimed wood. That feels very fitting for this whole rustic vibe. But why do you think it's become so popular specifically for weddings?
Well, I think there's an eco-conscious element at play. Couples are increasingly drawn to sustainable options, and repurposing materials fits perfectly into that mindset. It adds character, history, and a touch of sustainability, which resonates with a lot of couples today. Plus, let's be honest, reclaimed wood just looks amazing. It has a warmth and patina that you can't replicate with new lumber.
You're right, it has a certain soulfulness to it. Now, our sources keep mentioning wooden signs, and it seems like they're everywhere in rustic weddings. What makes them so versatile?
You can do so much with them. Welcome signs to greet guests, directional signs for those outdoor venues, table numbers, even place cards. And the beauty is that each sign can be personalized, whether it's with the couple's names, a special quote, or even a design that reflects their theme.
And I read somewhere that some couples are even writing little messages on the place cards for their guests. It's such a small detail, but it adds such a personal touch. What stands out to you about the way wooden signs are being used in rustic weddings?
What I find most interesting is the way they're being used to tell a story. It's not just about practicality anymore. They're becoming art pieces that reflect the couple's personality and journey together. Whether it's a quote that holds special meaning for them or a design that incorporates elements from their love story, these signs are adding another layer of meaning to the celebration.
That's such a cool way to think about it. Okay, we can't talk about rustic decor without mentioning the reigning champion, the mason jar. Our Pinterest data shows over 260 searches for mason jars with lights, so clearly they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But why do you think they've become such a staple in rustic weddings? What's the appeal?
Mason jars have this amazing ability to be both rustic and elegant, depending on how you use them. They're like blank canvases for creativity. You can fill them with wildflowers for a whimsical centerpiece, turn them into candle holders for a romantic glow, or even hang them from trees with fairy lights for a magical ambiance.
And the customization possibilities are endless. You can paint them, wrap them in lace, add natural fillers like sand or stones, and of course, experiment with all sorts of lighting. It's like each mason jar can be completely unique.
Exactly. And that ties back to that desire for personalization that we're talking about. Couples want their wedding decor to reflect their individual style. And mason jars give them the freedom to do just that.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about centerpieces. I know handcrafted centerpieces are super trendy right now, but what makes them so special in the context of rustic weddings? What sets them apart? I feel like with rustic centerpieces, it's all about like bringing the outdoors in, using natural elements like wood and flowers and greenery to create those like beautiful organic focal points.
It's about embracing that natural beauty of the surroundings and using those elements to create something unique and personal. So wildflowers are a huge hit in the summer, while pumpkins, gourds, and fall foliage are perfect for autumn weddings. Pine cones and evergreen branches add a touch of winter magic, and spring blooms bring a sense of freshness and renewal.
I love how you can really tailor the centerpiece to the season and the location, It makes it feel so much more authentic. Speaking of authentic, our sources mention that rustic weddings aren't just about the reception decor anymore. It's about personalizing the entire experience, even the ceremony space.
Yeah, it's true. Couples are thinking about the whole journey, from the moment guests arrive to the final farewell. And the ceremony is a perfect opportunity to set the tone and create a truly special atmosphere. So personalized signs with quotes or meaningful messages are popular for welcoming guests or marking the ceremony space. And when it comes to the backdrop, anything goes. Reclaimed wood, floral installations, even just the natural beauty of the surroundings can create a stunning focal point.
I love the idea of using the natural landscape as a backdrop. It's so simple yet so impactful. But let's not forget about all the other ways couples are personalizing their receptions. Our sources are full of creative ideas like mini drinking jars with custom labels, burlap silverware holders, even illustrations that tell the couple's story.
Those details are so charming. It's about taking those rustic elements and adding a personal twist. And don't forget about meaningful quotes woven into the decor, or even incorporated into the vows. Those little touches can make such a big difference in creating a truly unique and memorable experience.
Absolutely, it's those personal touches that really elevate the whole celebration. Okay, we've talked a lot about making things beautiful, but what about making them last? Our sources mention that repurposing decor after the wedding is a big trend. It's great for the planet and for your wallet. What are some creative ways couples are repurposing their rustic decor?
I think it's wonderful that couples are thinking about the afterlife of their wedding decor. So those gorgeous wooden signs can easily transition into home decor, adding a touch of rustic charm to any room. Mason jars can be used for everything from vases to storage containers. Burlap table runners can be repurposed as curtains or wall hangings. With a little creativity, almost anything can find a new purpose.
I love that. It's like giving those special pieces a second life. Okay, let's switch gears for a moment and talk about the business side of rustic weddings. For those who might be thinking of turning their passion for rustic decor into a business venture, what are some of the key pricing strategies they should consider?
There are three main approaches to pricing: cost plus, value-based, and competitive. So cost plus is pretty straightforward. You calculate your costs for materials, labor, and overhead, then add a markup to determine your selling price. Value-based pricing focuses on what customers perceive your products to be worth. This takes into account factors like uniqueness, custom design, and the overall experience you're providing.
So with value-based pricing, you're not just selling a product, you're selling a feeling, an idea. And then there's competitive pricing, which I imagine involves looking at what other businesses are charging for similar items.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's important to research your market and see what the going rate is for similar products and services. This can help you position your business competitively while ensuring you're not undervaluing your work. But regardless of which pricing strategy you choose, thorough cost analysis and market research are crucial for setting prices that are both profitable and attractive to customers.
Makes sense. Now let's talk marketing. What are some effective ways to get your rustic creations in front of the right people?
Well, you've got the trifecta of marketing channels: social media, email marketing, and targeted advertising. Each has its strengths, and a smart business owner will utilize a combination of all three. Social media is fantastic for showcasing your work and connecting with potential clients. High-quality photos of your creations, behind-the-scenes glimpses of your process, and engaging captions can really draw people in.
Social media is so visual. It seems like a natural fit for wedding decor.
Yeah.
What about email marketing? I feel like that's more about building relationships and staying top of mind.
You're absolutely right. Email marketing allows you to nurture those relationships, share exclusive content, announce special promotions, and stay connected with couples throughout their wedding planning journey.
And then there's targeted advertising, which is where you can really laser focus on your ideal customer. I imagine platforms like Google and social media offer some pretty sophisticated targeting options these days.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can target couples based on their interests, location, wedding date, budget, you name it. It's a powerful way to reach the right people with the right message at the right time.
But marketing is just one piece of the puzzle. Our sources also highlight the importance of networking, specifically building relationships with other wedding vendors.
Networking is essential in the wedding industry.
Yeah.
Connecting with wedding planners, venues, photographers, florists, and other professionals can lead to referrals, partnerships, and a whole lot of support.
It's like creating a whole rustic wedding ecosystem. What are some good ways to build those connections?
Attending industry events, joining online forums and groups, and simply reaching out to vendors whose work you admire are all great ways to start building relationships. And don't underestimate the power of word-of-mouth marketing. When vendors recommend each other, it builds trust and credibility.
So let's say you've got your pricing down, your marketing is on point, and you've built a solid network of vendors. What are some key things to consider when it comes to scaling a rustic wedding decor business?
Scaling a business is all about strategic planning, investment, and continuous improvement. It's about working smarter, not harder.
I imagine investing in the right tools is a big part of that. Our sources mention laser engravers and CNC machines as being essential for creating those custom pieces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Having reliable, efficient equipment is essential for increasing production capacity and maintaining quality.
And it's not just about the tools themselves. Our sources also emphasize the importance of streamlining your workflow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Minimizing waste, reducing production time, and ensuring consistency are all critical for scaling efficiently. And don't forget about your team. Hiring skilled craftspeople who share your passion for rustic decor is essential. And ongoing training can empower them to create those stunning pieces that set your business apart.
Speaking of unique creations, managing custom orders can be a challenge, especially as your business grows. What are some tips for handling custom requests effectively?
Clear communication is key. Set clear expectations with clients from the outset, provide regular project updates, and be responsive to their questions and concerns.
It sounds like those personal touches in communication are just as important as those personal touches in the decor.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to use technology to your advantage. Project management tools can help you stay organized and on track, while online platforms can streamline communication and collaboration with clients.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, but the wedding industry is constantly evolving. What are some emerging trends you see shaping the future of rustic weddings?
Well, one trend that's really catching my eye is the blending of styles. Rustic is no longer confined to barns and burlap. It's incorporating elements of bohemian, modern, even industrial aesthetics.
That's so interesting. So we're talking about rustic with a twist. Can you give us some examples of what this rustic fusion looks like in action?
Imagine a rustic tablescape with sleek, minimalist tableware, or a barn venue adorned with geometric lighting fixtures. It's all about finding that sweet spot where rustic charm meets contemporary sophistication.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture. So it's like taking those classic rustic elements and giving them a modern edge. What about color palettes? Are we seeing any shifts from those traditional, earthy tones?
Earthy hues and soft pastels will always have a place in rustic weddings. But we're also seeing pops of bolder colors emerge. Deep jewel tones like emerald green, sapphire blue, and ruby red are being incorporated to add a touch of drama and vibrancy.
I love that. It's like infusing those natural elements with a burst of personality. And speaking of personality, our source emphasized that personalization is becoming more important than ever. It's not just about following trends, it's about creating a celebration that truly reflects the couple's unique story.
Absolutely. Couples are going above and beyond to infuse their personalities to every detail, from custom monograms and illustrations to meaningful quotes and song lyrics woven into the decor.
And technology is playing a big role in bringing those personalized visions to life, right? I'm thinking about laser engraving, CNC routing, 3D printing. These tools are allowing couples to create some truly unique pieces.
You're exactly right. Technology is opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Imagine laser-cut wooden invitations with intricate details, personalized favors with the couple's initials, or even a 3D printed cake topper that's a miniature replica of the couple. The possibilities are endless.
It's amazing to think about how technology is shaping the future of wedding decor. But amidst all this innovation, it's encouraging to see that sustainability is still top of mind. We touched on repurposing earlier, but what other eco-conscious trends are emerging in rustic weddings?
Locally sourced flowers and greenery are becoming increasingly popular. Couples are opting for blooms that are in season and grown nearby, reducing their environmental impact and supporting local businesses.
That's fantastic.
Right.
It's a win-win for everyone involved. Are there other ways couples are making their rustic weddings more sustainable?
Absolutely. We're seeing a rise in the use of biodegradable and compostable materials, like bamboo tableware, plantable seed paper for invitations, and even eco-friendly confetti made from dried flowers or leaves.
It's so inspiring to see how couples are incorporating sustainability into their celebrations. So if you had to sum up the future of rustic weddings in a few words, what would you say?
I'd say personalized, eclectic, and conscious. Rustic weddings are evolving to reflect the unique values and styles of modern couples, while embracing sustainability and a deeper connection to nature.
Beautifully put.
Thank you.
This deep dive has been a whirlwind of inspiration and insights. From the enduring charm of mason jars and reclaimed wood to the cutting-edge technology shaping custom designs, the world of rustic weddings is brimming with creativity and innovation.
And for all of you listening who are dreaming of your own rustic celebration, or perhaps even considering a venture into the world of wedding decor, remember this: embrace your unique vision, infuse it with personal touches, and don't be afraid to think outside the barn.
We've covered materials, trends, business tips, and so much more. But as we wrap up, I'm left with a question for you, our listener. What do you think is the most important intangible element that makes rustic weddings so special? Is it the warmth, the intimacy, the connection to nature, or something else entirely? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, happy planning, and may your rustic dreams come true.